What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLORIan here. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I wanted to break down the trailer for episode 12 of season 10 of The Walking Dead, titled Walk With Us. Like usual, the trailer will be linked down below in the description, so you guys can go check it out and watch it for yourself, since it is a pretty cool trailer and does actually show a lot of really cool Easter eggs to some possibly big moments from the comics. But without further ado, I need to start on the top right and breaking down this trailer. So the trailer starts with a little bit off from where last episode left off at. We see some soldiers inside Hilltop trying to stop the horde from getting inside with their shields. Hilltop's burning up, so obviously walkers are catching on fire, which is making it harder for them to defend them from getting in, not maybe catching on fire themselves, since a lot of the other soldiers were pretty much covered in gasoline a lot in last episode. We get a POV shot through a shield of someone killing a walker and anything, which is pretty cool, like one of the soldiers. Also, we do get some pretty quick shots that are pointless to break down, and I think there's some just quick shots of just pointless B-roll and stuff. We get a shot here of some walkers trying to get in with some massive scale and everything, and some more walker kills. Right here we get a shot from the walker's perspective, or at least the horde's perspective and everything, or their side of things. We see the Barrington house up in flames and everything until an explosion occurs in front of it, bursting some more flames. I am wondering what caused this explosion though. Obviously it could have been many things, maybe a huge combustion of fire and everything, or just maybe inside the Barrington house. We next see Dale and some other soldiers and anything fighting off some walkers and maybe some whispers until they turn around suddenly, most likely reacting to the explosion near the Barrington house and everything. Also, this does show that Dale and his group makes it back inside the Hilltop, since obviously last episode we did think how are they gonna get back in, since the entrance is pretty much almost on fire and pretty much blockable and you can't get inside. But I guess they made it back inside and everything, which is good. Next we get a shot of Eugene standing in front of the Hilltop water tower and everything. We do see Aaron somewhere in the background. We do see him kind of milling around. I feel Eugene here is reacting also to the explosion and the burning down the Barrington house, since his radio and only contact is Stephanie is up there obviously in the Barrington house. We do get a shot of Yumiko too and everything, most likely yet again reacting to the explosion from the Barrington house. Then we get a shot of Rosita running really fast and telling by the sneak peeks, or some sneak peeks and everything, which I'll make sure to break down those later into this week. She's running after Eugene possibly, who might try and maybe succeed to go inside the Barrington house and anything, and maybe try to get his radio or something. I also wonder if Eugene will get Carl's plot in this little section right here, or at least in this little scene or thing right here, because during the Battle of the Hilltop in the comics, Carl goes inside the Barrington house to help people and everything, but it ends up getting knocked out by a wooden plank falling down from the house and is saved by Aaron. So I wonder if the same thing will happen here and everything, but instead of Carl getting knocked out, it'll be Eugene, and instead of Aaron saving him, it'll be Rosita, or it could still be Aaron, but I feel it might be Rosita and I think telling about her running after him. Next we see Ezekiel running with some children and everything, trying to get them the hell out of Hilltop and everything through a back exit maybe, which is what Daryl told him to do if he falls in the battle, which obviously Daryl does not die here in this battle, but I guess Ezekiel's taking extra precautions and stuff. But next we get a terrified reaction of terrified reaction shot of Ezekiel and everything, but why is he looking so terrified? Well, in the previous shot we did not see Judith running with all the children, so crap. The one kid that really needs to get out and everything is not with him. Next we get a shot of Carol, who kind of looks a bit stunned and sad, probably realizing that the Hilltop is down and everything, that they kind of lost the battle and everything, and now they have to evacuate and pretty much abandon this place that they worked so hard to defend. This also does look like she's looking out towards the field and everything, so probably she sees the massive number of walkers and everything, and realizing that there's nothing she or anyone can do to stop this horde. Next we do see a shot and everything out in a field, who is later revealed to be Negan and everything, since he of course has Lucille 2.0 and the boots and the pants and everything that Negan usually has on. But he's walking through this field of tons of dead walkers and everything until we see him approach a wounded and crawling soldier, who we see is trying to crawl away and everything. You see he kind of has that kind of kingdom type armor on or anything. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's the armor that a lot of the kingdom soldiers wear. Also, we do see some walkers with arrows in their heads, and obviously whispers wouldn't kill their own horde, so it leaves me to believe that this is near the Hilltop or anything the morning after the battle, and everyone in Hilltop is already evacuated, and this is a soldier that got wounded and left behind, and obviously Negan's walking up to this person with his bat, and ooh, what will happen? But next we see a shot of Negan lowering down his bat and everything very quickly, and most likely killing and ending the life of this wounded soldier and anything, putting him out of his misery. Next we see Alpha talking to Negan, and Alpha tells Negan that she did not get everything she wanted, which I'm not 100% sure what that means. Maybe she didn't kill everyone like she wanted to and everything, I don't know. But like I mentioned earlier and everything, this might be the Hilltop and everything. We do see over on the left and everything some destroyed barbed wire of the defenses of Hilltop and everything, those little pillars. So yeah, most likely is the destroyed, like, you know, remains left of Hilltop, since this is, like, you know, the morning after the battle. We do get a shot of Alpha and everything, and the smoke is still going on and everything because of the fire. But weirdly enough, we do see a whisper rise behind her, or at least I think it's a whisper. We do see a knife in its hand and everything, so maybe, like, Negan's putting out another wounded soldier that got left behind and everything, and this whisper is just killing him. Next, we go to a field where we see Daryl, Rosita, Diane, Yumiko, maybe. It's really hard to tell since the shot's so far away and everything, but maybe this shows everyone, like, you know, gets split up after the fight, since everyone has to find, like, you know, different exits and different, like, you know, getaway points. Next, we see a walker pounding on a car window and everything, clearly trying to get in to get someone. But next, we got a shot of Alden inside, obviously, the van and everything, what seems to be a van at least, and clearly he's trapped inside and everything since he does look pretty scared. Next, we go inside the van and everything and see Kelly holding a baby, which I think might be Adam, you know, Gamma / Mary's nephew, and Alden checking outside where we see a ton of walkers. This might be some, like, you know, walkers that have broken off from, like, the massive horde and everything and just chasing them. Next, we get a shot of Negan and everything with his badass mask on, looking off into the distance, but what is he looking at? Weirdly enough, in the next shot, we do see Lydia and everything running off into the woods, looking maybe hurt, but running really fast, so maybe Negan was looking at Lydia and everything, and off in the distance and everything, and obviously she runs away when, you know, when he notices her. We also get a shot of Lydia running through the woods and everything with her stick. Maybe she's alone, I'm not sure anything, or maybe she might run in or be with Carol. Now, there was a shot in a trailer that was released a while back and everything for season 10B before, you know, episode 9 premiered, that showed Carol walking in similar woods and anything with Lydia's stick, so maybe Lydia runs or might run into Carol, I don't know. Next, we get a shot of Daryl taking out, like, you know, his knife from his holster and everything. We see his hand is still wrapped up from the fight he had with Alpha. He looks into this area that's like possibly he's possibly entering and everything. It looks very suspicious and everything, so maybe he's, like, you know, looking at a whisper or maybe to check for walkers. But then we see Daryl open the door and everything to this little shack, and I'm pretty sure if you saw season 9, you'll know where this is or where this little shack is or what it is. Now, I think he's entering this little place and everything where Henry, like, you know, and those kids snuck off to drink, and where Henry snuck off to hide Lydia and everything when Alpha came for Lydia. I think this is that place and everything, that they're trying to find a place for shelter and everything, or to, like, hide out from all the walkers and whispers. Also, if you do look through, like, you know, the little peephole of, like, you know, the door, you will see a window that looks very similar to the ones that were in the shack when Henry and those kids were in it. Next, we go to Gamma / Mary and everything. She's looking quite weird and quite bloody and everything. Now, obviously, in, like, other trailers for season 10B and everything, we do see, like, you know, Gamma / Mary and everything killing some walkers in a field, but she looks up very weirdly, and I do wonder, did she get bit or is she just tired and sad? We do also see some dead walkers next to her and everything, so she might just be very tired and everything, but I am a little scared for her. In the next shot, we do see Negan talking to Alpha and everything without his mask on, and he does mention to Alpha that he found something that she was looking for, but what did he find for her? We also do see, like, a walker and everything, or maybe a whisper in the background. In the next shot, we do see Alpha walking somewhere with Negan behind her. Now, I do want to point something out and everything in this shot. The shot is very similar to when Alpha took Negan out somewhere to, you know, and Negan thought, like, you know, Alpha was gonna kill him and everything. So what if this is flipped and parallel to the shot, but Negan will actually kill her? But we'll touch on that a bit later. Also, if you look on Negan's little holster and anything around his waist, you do see a knife or maybe a bayonet and everything. So what if this is, like, you know, what he takes out and everything is to suddenly, like, you know, cut Alpha's head off or cut her throat and anything, just like in the comics? I don't know, maybe. The last and final shot of the trailer is Alpha walking towards his little shack and everything in the middle of the woods, all alone with Negan. Ooh. So let's touch on one thing. Will Negan kill Alpha in episode 12 of season 10? I'm not actually sure, if I'm being perfectly honest. A lot of people says that, like, you know, she will be killed and anything, or she dies in this episode, and, like, you know, is this a good enough episode for her to die in? Well, after some, like, you know, thought and everything and some analysis, yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good, like, you know, episode for her to die. Since she'll die in episode 12, episode 13 will be Michonne's final episode or anything, and then, you know, all that. Although, wait, is Michonne's final episode 13 or 14? I'm not 100% sure, but at least in my opinion, it's like, you know, 12 is a good episode for her to die and everything, at least in my opinion. But here are my hopes for this. It happens at the end of the episode at night, which in this shot does look like, you know, it happens with, like, you know, it looks like the sun setting, maybe at least. Also, I do wonder if anyone else is gonna be involved with the killing, like, you know, of Alpha, since a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, someone else is waiting in the shack for, you know, Negan to, like, you know, bring Alpha, which I feel like it will it might be Carol and everything, since there has been some, like, you know, leaked photos on set and everything with Carol and Negan together, and like, you know, like Carol has a bag or whatever with, like, you know, maybe Negan, or maybe with Alpha's head in it. I'm not sure. Also, it would be smart for Negan to kill her in this little shack, or at least, you know, bring Alpha to the shack to get killed with and everything, where no one can see it. But that was my breakdown for the 10/12 trailer of The Walking Dead. Like I said, the trailer will be a link down below in the description. What are you guys most excited for and everything out of this entire trailer? Because I'm really excited for, like, you know, the Alpha and Negan stuff and everything. Obviously, Alpha's possible death in this episode. But that was all and everything. Make sure to leave, like, you know, some comments down below what you guys are most excited for and everything. Do you like the trailer? Or, like, you know, does it show a lot of stuff that, like, what are you most excited for and stuff? But yep, that was all and everything. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more Walking Dead stuff and everything, updates, news, you know, stuff like that and everything. And yep, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, my amigos, and peace out.